and you can come to your own conclusions by watching the video yourself, but I just feel using some of the techniques I learned in school and uh, bringing up knowledge I read in a book known as Blink by Malcolm Gladwell. I just feel like there's a overall phoniness to this whole conference, and if they really were discovering, space and taking these instrumental accounts of all these different things, they shouldn't seem so guilty. They should be glowing. The whole conference should be really organic, the answering of questions. But I feel like I don't get that. And I feel like you can kind of tell, your heart kind of knows, but you're distracted by their mind control patterning and NLP, Neurolinguistic programming, that they're masters at on paper, but they really don't present it that well to me. Well, because me knowing the knowledge, I kind of see right through it, but it's sad that this is what a lot of government funding goes to, basically just coming up with a hypnosis speech with trigger words, and it's more enticing your imagination than anything. In Malcolm Gladwell's book, he also discusses something known as thin slicing, and there was a study where they interviewed couples and recorded the interview. They all were asked the same questions, and then they took a guess on which one of the couples would be divorced in 15 years. And they, by looking at 1 or 2 second clips of each couple, they made an 85%. They guessed with 85% accuracy who would be together and who wouldn't. So for me, I just look at a lot of these expressions and freeze frames, and he's just looking around, his eyes dart in these triangle patterns, and to me, it's just like the guy's lying. He has his little command sequence he's supposed to say, but he knows that this is all fraud. This, how many times is this guy gonna look around? He just seemed, they're all without the sound too. It just it just pisses me off that they do this. They fake space to kids, and it's just basically a fucking money grab. And they procrastinate and whip out a presentation in about, I don't even know how long they prepare for this, but to me, it's they're just oh shit, don't we have to do something about the JUNO coming up soon this summer? And it's oh yeah, let's do that. And they always use the summer for most of these terror hoax events, because people are typically partying, enjoying the nicer weather, depending on where you are right now, and they're so persuaded by what they see because of the alcohol, and alcohol increases consumerism, so they just soak it up and consume this bullshit. And for them to prime the July 4th thing, he says, it's actually going on right now. He says something, fire up, system ready, all that encoded words. And then I was thinking about it a little bit further, into the word fire and July 4th. Like, obviously, there was going to be people around a fire, like, if they were celebrating July Independence Day. So there's a very good chance that would happen. So what better time to look up into the stars and to talk about, Juno's trip there? It's just all fucking bullshit. It's strategically planned, and they're using all sorts of tactics that I learned in marketing. I'll have a lot of links in the videos, but it's just sad. And I did say a comment in one of the videos about this being bullshit to me. I don't want anybody to misunderstand what I was trying to say. Like, I know this is just an animation, but they just have to go so Hollywood with it so close. Like, it probably, if it was a real thing, based on what they say, how turbulent Jupiter is, it would be nowhere near this close to its surface. And I think that surface, it's phony in my opinion. I'm not going to say much more on the matter. You can watch the video yourself and watch, see what you think from your standpoint. I'll link the books and stuff that I mentioned and all the other videos, but in my opinion, the more you open your eyes to this fraud of space, the more you realize that if they literally lie to kids about space, they'll do any sort of lie. That's why I feel like downplaying the space hoax isn't really good at all. All the hoaxes in general will help people awaken each little bit at a time. They're like stepping stones to fully realizing what their life really is. It's like they can't really get other imagery of Jupiter or something because all the imagery, it seems to be exactly the same. This is a image from the conference. This is another image, and both of them have this like squiggly line up here. I just think it's the same image, but they superimposed it in this like CGI thing with the shadow, with their fraudulent thing going by it. This is a picture from NASA. This is a picture from NASA. They just look to me like artistic concepts. Like, you can do this with this technique called, what's it called? You just use like Tupperware, water, and paints, and you can make patterns like this, and they occur like naturally. So I just think that's kind of what they're spending the money doing. This is another image, and if you compare this image and that image, it's just like the same image, except there's like a dot there. This just looks like an oil painting in the center. I think it's like part of it is like an oil painting, but it's also like projecting this on the wall, and there's like rushing water. There's like a technique that you can project light and do all this type of stuff. I've seen stuff like this at a concert doing this exact same stuff, and it looked like a planet. It's pretty easy to do, but I do think they screwed themselves making the planet this complex, because it's like they have to fake it. And all the images just are so cheesy to me. That's like their image of the Juno doing its little propulsion. Like, I don't think anything would be that close to Jupiter. They just want to do this like Hollywood impression, and it's like right up on the fucking thing. There's no way in hell it would be that close, based on what they tell us about Jupiter being like this gravity fucking superstorm. That thing would be sucked to the center of that thing in like fucking 2 seconds if it was that close. But they want to make it seem like your money is well spent with this stupid animation. And basically all they have is like models and animations to tell you about the fantasy of space, and it's uh, they're always just deflecting, and they're pissed when they have to speak. And I don't even think that would be the case if they were genuinely talking about this discovery. And there's fucking people fooled by it, taking pictures. Kids are excited, and it's kind of dumb, in my opinion. These just look like ultrasounds. I don't know. Let me see if she does the. I don't even care to show it. I've showed it in another video. This is supposedly the only real thing that they have. Again, it's like, who gives a crap? What is this? The questions, I don't know, they barely answer them. Look at her, she doesn't even want to be there anymore. But yeah, I mean, if you watched all 3 videos, I probably spoiled your viewpoint. Maybe you have an opposite viewpoint, so it doesn't matter, but to watch them yourself without sound, to watch what they're saying and talking about, do you really think what they're telling you is true? Like, I don't know. I just can't make it. I don't think they're telling the truth. But I'm not gonna decide for you. You should decide for yourself. And not just hear word of mouth, what they're doing. Because nobody really knows, nobody's there, so we really just gotta rely on what they say. And if you were a person that was enthusiastic, you'd want to see more than just what they present. It's like stupid animations and sound clips that anybody could have made, and they probably did make it like 2 weeks prior to this, or maybe even a week prior. It's like a show. They could be plants, but some of the questions they barely answer. Just funny as hell that NASA still is trying to continue the lie. I'll check in. Definitely going to be doing more videos on this JUNO mission if they decide to go full on with it. I mean, in my opinion, I think they should just cut it out right here. Just show people the radiation data, telling them about how much water the planet has, and that's it. Just cut it and cut it out. I don't know why I just did that, but I'm going to end the video there.